for you. It's good, London.
You had a parking ticket.
Hey Tish, how are you?
You know, I'm doing pretty okay.
Good. I just want to go ahead and let you know that this session will be recorded. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfectly alright.
Alright, well, what brings you in today?
I am, I don't know, overwhelmed and excited and nervous, I think is a good word. Just a lot of life has happened.
Okay.
Goodness. So I had a really good weekend. We'll start there. I rented a car Friday. Friday was a long day. I called it the Friday from hell. It was just, I'm only supposed to work 10 to noon on Fridays. Like, that's it. Then Friday afternoons are mine to do whatever I want. And I had stacked meetings from 8 a.m. on Friday till noon, and then from 1 to 5. And I was like, I want my noon. Like, I want noon to 5 to just do me. But I had to pick up a rental car. So here's what started my stressed out weekend. It was like everything, like, had all these meetings ran late, so I was late to my chiropractor appointment. Chiropractor appointment literally lasts 10 minutes, and I pay a lot of money to go to the chiropractor, but it's my one little stress relief. And I go in to pick up my rental car from Enterprise, and they swipe my credit card, and it's declined. Took a deep breath, and I was like, I shouldn't have been so rude to the attendant that was trying to get me my rental car. I was like looking at it, I'm like, no, this card should work. Like, I don't know, like, there's money on this card. Come to find out there was an extra $150 fee that they were charging me that I didn't know about. So I was like, I was $150 short, so I had to sit in the Enterprise waiting room, call my credit card company, up my credit for the weekend, authorize a payment, which I'm not sure if I overdraft on my checking account. Might have been a thing. But we finally got in the car, but I felt so awful that I was like real rude to this stranger who was like just trying to be nice and do his job. And I was like, it's all his fault. Like, this is your fault. This is not my fault for reading anything. But I did get a car, so that was good.
Well, that's good.
Yes, it was this real pretty blue color. I just miss having a car. So, like, my stress relief is like get in a car and just go drive. So Friday night, I just drove around Chattanooga. I was like, I never get to drive anymore. I've missed it. But Saturday, I went to Knoxville for the day. And this was a big thing for me was my dad has ALS. And so I've been trying to do things where I, like, support the ALS cause for research. There's no cure. There's no treatment. Like, they just tell their patients to go home and die, which sucks. And I drove all the way to Knoxville, which about an hour and a half drive or so, a little more, depending where you're going. Got there, and I was like, I don't know anybody here. I'm all by myself. Very overwhelming. But I had raised almost $300 for the walk, which was awesome because all I have is poor broke college friends. So the fact that I raised that much.
Right. That is cool.
Yeah. So I did the walk, and the event lasted an hour. So I drove like the hour and a half, 2 hours to Knoxville for an hour and did the event, called my dad. I was like almost in tears the whole time. I was like, this was a lot harder than I thought it was. But so worth it. And had all of that going on. Did some shopping in Knoxville. Got my hair cut. Sunday, I was like, we're gonna do homework. Didn't do any homework. I procrastinated hardcore. So it just led me to being up late this morning until like 4 a.m. finishing a paper exam thing. Get back up at 7:30, and I find out I have a parking ticket in my car when I go to return it. So I have a $25 fee to pay. So it's just like all these little pieces on top of the fact that I only get to work 2 days this week, and then I fly to Seattle for 5 days. So it's like all of this. I haven't prepared at all for the Seattle trip. I'm just like.
So it sounds like you're pretty overwhelmed with everything that's about to be taking place and that just took place. Sounds like you had an amazing weekend though, because you got to go to Knoxville and you got to represent a cause that you actually have a personal connection to and that you enjoy representing. But then we have this little thing called adulting that you still have to manage in there, and it sounds like it's just pretty overwhelming right now.
Yeah, overwhelming is a good term. There's part of me where I hate adulting. And I need a weekend where I can just go, and I'm just not in that mindset where I can be like, you know what, everything can wait. Like, go and do these things and it'll be okay. But because when I see things that I do that, and I'm like, well, now it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm still finishing an exam, and I'm kicking myself for not working on it along the way.
So do you feel like maybe you don't have enough balance in trying to decide when to take those little moments for yourself and when not to?
Oh, that could be a good thing. Yeah, balance, yeah. I think that could be where I never thought of it, how to, I'm such a planner, and I'm such a, here's my schedule, here's what I need to do, but you throw in a monkey wrench of me getting to go and do something else, and that whole plan goes out the window.
Do you feel like that's something that you could work on, maybe, of trying to get that, so that you don't have that overwhelming feeling like, oh, I just did something really great, crap, I still gotta write a paper.
I think so. I think it's balance. It's honestly, I get mad at myself when I'm like, I want to do all these fun things, but I know I need to do all this schoolwork stuff, and it's at the end of the day, what's going to be better for me? Why should I enjoy all this fun stuff that's going on? But I'm getting mad at myself for not doing the work that needs to get done.
So it's almost like you have a battle of emotions. You're happy that you get to do all this great stuff, but then you're upset that you don't do the things that need to be done, that you recognize need to be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm I know there are things that need to be done. There are I want to stay in touch with my friends from home. I need to do my schoolwork. I need to clean my apartment. It's being able to prioritize. I'm quick to be give my dad a phone call, clean my apartment, shower, do some laundry, and then sit down and write my papers. And I know that I need to be better at that. It's just getting that motivation behind it.
Yeah. So it's almost as if you kind of need to flip yourself around
Yeah.
so that you don't become so overwhelmed. But I think it's wonderful that you take time out to do the things that you want to do. It sounds like you had a very eventful weekend that did trickle into, 3 a.m. this morning of finishing your paper, but you did get your paper done.
Yeah. I did. I got it done. I got it submitted, and I was like, okay, we're one step closer, and being able to sit in my office all day today and get actual paperwork stuff done and handle crises as they came up. And I swear Mondays and college students are crisis and all in between. But yeah, no, I definitely, there's that little bit of pride that I'm okay, I got that schoolwork done. Okay, there's one less thing on my plate. Now let's prepare. I'm going to Seattle for 5 days, and Seattle's paid for. It's not coming out of my budget book. There is that nervousness about this trip. I'm leaving my residence hall and my RAs alone for 3 days, and I'm okay, I'm not here, don't call me. And I'm what's going to pile up and what's going to blow up? And that makes me nervous.
So you do have some anxiousness around the trip going to Seattle.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to be alone, but is it just more so worried about the work end of it?
I think there's a lot of pieces. I like to cover it up with the fact that, it's just work that's got me all stressed out. But I've never been on a plane before. I'm going with 20-some people that I just don't know. So it's okay, plop introverted Tish into an extroverted setting for 4 or 5 days, and I'm going to come back exhausted. I'm thankful Monday and Tuesday are days off school.
Well, that's very interesting. It sounds like this is going to be another awesome extended weekend, though, that you get to experience a whole lot of things that sounds like you want to experience. So you're still going to have that feeling of being overwhelmed, it sounds like. But I think you recognize what overwhelms you, and I think that's a good opportunity to try not to allow it to overwhelm you as much. I hope that you have fun.
I hope so. I think it's going to be a good trip. I'm excited.
Yeah, it sounds like it is. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I would definitely like to, set another time for you to come in so that I can maybe hear about the Seattle trip.
For sure. I'd love to tell you all about it.
All right, well, that sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Jasmine.
Thank you.